You're not a Taylor fan, though. You've never really been a Taylor.
I like her music. I can separate like the person from the art, and I think her music is great. And I also think that if you look at her compared to a lot that's being offered right now, I like that her brand is clean. I like that she tries to keep her brand clean. I think that's aspirational. I like that you feel that you could send your 13-year-old daughter to a concert and she's not getting like, butt cheeks. Well, maybe Taylor Swift shorts are a little short, but you know what I mean. Like, she's not graphic and super explicit. I don't like how she maneuvers in the press. And for people who can't read the press, everyone thought she was a victim. Like, the Scooter Braun thing was nuts. Like that.
Hello and welcome back. This channel is formerly Ghost Hunter 385, and now I welcome you to Tea and Toast with Ghost. Quick little side note here, I'm not going to go back and redo all my old videos. I'm just going to keep them as they are, but please remember the channel name from now on is Tea with Toast. Well, excuse me, Tea and Toast with Ghost. Thank you. Alright everybody, I hope you have your cups ready, because I'm pouring the water. Alright everybody, with our cups full, let us get into today's topic. And today's topic is about Taylor Swift. Now, am I a Swiftie here? Heck no. I'm a metal/rock guy who dabbles with country a little bit here. So pop music is not my favorite here, as a disclaimer. But I'm not here to talk about the art. I'm here to talk about the artist. And sadly, from my perspective, Miss Swift is an incredibly, now this is just my opinion here, is an incredibly shrewd and manipulative person. Now, we'll get into a couple of the scandals, but let's hear from someone who claims that she was in the same high school as Miss Swift here, real quick.
School as the anti-hero hitmaker, said that she didn't know much about her except that the pair grew up in the same neighborhood. Looking back on her high school days in Tennessee, she reflected,
So in 2006, I'm a freshman in high school. Taylor is, I think, a junior. Teardrops on My Guitar had just come out, I think, over the summer. Obviously, she got really big, and that's the year that she left school. She was homeschooled in 2006.
The viral TikTok video sparked outrage among Swifties after Jessica claimed their classmates resented the singer's success and reportedly hated her. In another clip that was released moments after the first one, she hinted that jealousy was definitely a thing. Fans rushed to the comments section to share their views over Jessica's claim on the social media giant. One user argued, even if Taylor's dad was financially privileged enough to leverage her career, no amount of money will grant you talent and staying power. Another chimed in, adding, the best revenge to your haters and naysayers is success. And she showed you all that in spades. In addition, Jessica invited criticism with respect to her claim, prompting fans to request her to follow up with yearbook receipts.
Now, I've listened to her full spiel. Now, to be honest, I don't know if that woman actually did go to high school with Taylor Swift. As far as I know, she never followed up with the yearbooks proving that, she actually went to the same high school as Taylor Swift did in Tennessee. But the inference that it gives us shows that Miss Swift's personality, what's the nicest way to say this? Oh yeah, Mean Girls. It seems that Mrs. Swift's personality is the forever victim and the perpetual mean girl. And if you've ever seen the, mid-2000s Mean Girls movie, you know what I'm talking about here. I can't use that movie because of copyright reasons. But the point I'm trying to make here is that she seems to be the forever victim and the mean girl. And that's something that even her critics have said. Well, not specifically that way, but that's the point. Mean girl / victim, and she just keeps rocking this. Now, does that mean there aren't those who aren't willing to stand up to her? Yes, there are. I mean, who remembers when Kanye West did this?
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. One of the best videos of all time.
I was standing on stage.
Now, I'll give Kanye his props. He tends to stand up for what he believes in. I'll give him his props. Now, am I saying that Kanye is better than her? Well, I'd have to get back on you like that, because I'm not actually a big fan of Kanye's reputation. But, again, this is another instance of Taylor Swift getting an award, and then all of a sudden, as soon as somebody says otherwise, she plays the victim. And, what other times has Taylor played the victim? Oh, yeah. The situation with Scooter, what was the name, like Scooter Braun or something like that? I can't remember if I pronounced his name like that, but let's take a look at a media clip just real quick.
Taylor Swift's old record label shut its doors Friday due to threats from Swifties, the superstar's fans.
News Channel 5's Jesse Knutson explains this happened after Swift tweeted saying the leaders of Big Machine label group were keeping her from performing some of her own hit songs.
On Nashville's Big Machine Records. It's where she gained her fame, but earlier this year, they sold to Scooter Braun, someone Swift does not get along with. And since then, there has been controversy between Swift and her old label, a label that owns her masters for songs like Tim McGraw, Love Story, and many others. But that controversy reached a peak on Friday when Swift posted on Twitter that Big Machine was keeping her from performing her older songs at the American Music Awards and on a Netflix special, telling her fans to let Scooter know how you feel about this. That's when some of her fans sent threats to the record label. But Norman Gillis at Music Row Law says the issue Swift brought forward doesn't make sense.
And I've never seen an exclusive artist recording agreement that says you can't go on television if the television program's being recorded.
See, Big Machine owns her masters, but they don't control what she sings live.
They just own the rights to those specific master recordings. They don't own the song that floats around in the atmosphere. That's a publishing issue.
And that's what Big Machine said in a statement. At no point did we say Taylor could not perform on the AMAs or block her Netflix special. In fact, we do not have the right to keep her from performing live anywhere. What they can do is prevent her from re-recording her masters for a period of time, but she plans to start re-recording her old music next year when her contract allows her to.
A re-record restriction is normally in an artist agreement for the logical reason that they don't want to spend a bunch of money making you famous and then let you just go out and compete with another recording that's just like the one they've got.
Jesse Knutson, News Channel 5.
Just hours ago, Big Machine reps said they gave permission to Swift to perform her songs on the AMAs and Netflix, but again, added their permission was not necessary. Swift has yet to address the matter since last Friday.
But as you can see from this Channel 5 news report, I'm not sure where the station's out of here, mind you, but let's be objective here. Scooter Braun bought Big Machine Records, and because Taylor Swift didn't like working with him, I mean, the man does work with Justin Bieber and Ariana Grande, and apparently neither of them want to continue working with them. They work with him because they have to, not because they want to. At least that's the impression I'm getting here. I could be wrong. But, you know, as soon as Big Machine Records was sold to Ithaca Holdings, you know, all of a sudden, it's a problem. Not to mention the fact that Taylor Swift fans, aka the swifties, were documented to sending out threats. And for those of you who say, oh, can you prove that? Sadly, all my research has yielded that the tweets and other things that went out about those kinds of threats, or the phone calls or the letters, to my knowledge, those were never released to the public. So I actually can't produce them. But considering the fact that at the time, these so-called fans threatened at least 2 minor children under the age of 5 at the time, I believe, and the man's at the time wife, you know, this is not a good look. And anybody who knows how these sycophants work for superstars like this, everybody knows that all the superstar has to do to make them stop, it would be to go on their social media accounts and say, hey, stop this. I mean, even during the race riots, even Rodney King got up on the camera and said, can we just stop this? Seriously, he did that. And, you know, if you don't believe me, here, look at this little short that I found about the end of the Eras Tour.
Swifties have gotten out of hand. On the last day of the Eras Tour, Swifties decided to surprise Taylor by wishing her an early birthday. The plan was to sing Happy Birthday just as she takes out her earpiece. So they started circulating this message all over social media. But what the innocent Swifties didn't realize was Taylor also has an internet. So when they started singing, this was her reaction.
Now, I can agree that that little moment is wholesome, singing her happy birthday as the Eras Tour ends. You know, I can agree with most people that that is wholesome. Not gonna lie here. However, consider the fact that Taylor Swift probably knew in advance that this was going to happen and was kind of waiting. Kind of tells us everything we need to know. Now, has Taylor Swift had feuds with Katy Perry, Kanye West, and Kim Kardashian? Yes, she has. And she's just been playing games with it, if you ask me. Now, onto her actual art here. You know, I don't have a lot of problems with her songs. Frankly, I could care less. However, here, there is an issue that I do have. And what issue is that? Is that about 30% of her songs are about breakup. The image before you is from a Reddit forum about Taylor Swift and about how some of her super fans went and started counting all her songs and counting the ones that were all breakup songs. Now, am I going to sit here and say that, you know, Taylor Swift is abusing this practice? No, I'm not, because sadly, you know, Taylor Swift is not the only music artist that has used emotional situations to write music about. There have been several more, and more than hundreds more after her, that will probably do this. So I'm not faulting her for that. However, when your own fan base can sit there and say that approximately 30% of your songs are all breakup songs, I do believe the term drama queen fits here, folks. And for those of you saying, oh, now I'm just picking on her, no, I'm not. because I could sit here and string off a list of songs just off the top of my head. Coheed and Cambria, Welcome Home. I believe it was the main guitarist's wife or girlfriend was doing the playing the games thing of, oh, I don't know if I want to be with you. Or we could go with Papa Roach's Scars, where the singer is finally saying, I'm done with you and all the heartache that you've given me. Taylor Swift is not the only one who's done this. And for those of you who say, I'm still picking on her, okay, Okay, here, let's pull up a few, shall we? So, starting off, we have All American Rejects Gives You Hell. About the breakup, about one of the band members' breakup and how he wishes unpleasantries upon the ex. Now, is it kind of distasteful? Sure. But, again, this is emotion fueling the art. And is anyone going to sit here and disagree with that? No. Who would? Come on, think about that for a minute. And then here we go. Carrie Underwood, Before He Cheats. She sings about messing up her ex-boyfriend, ex-husband's car, however you want to take it. Yeah, the big truck that the guy drove. Again, another breakup song about a relationship that went the way of the dodo. Now, that was a joke. Don't get me wrong here. But still, the point stands is that this is what fuels the art. And Carrie Underwood, just like Taylor Swift, uses this stuff. And here we have the most legendary breakup song, You're So Vain by Carly Simon. There is not someone who hasn't heard this song. If your parents turned on a rock music station on in the 90s, 2000s, 2010, heck, even today, if you turn on the right radio stations, you will hear that song. I can remember being a child in my mother's car, in my father's car, and they would play this song. And one of the greatest mysteries today is the fact that nobody knows who that song was about. Most people assume it was about her ex-boyfriend at the time. But again, no one's really 100% sure. Now, am I going to sit here and say that Miss Swift shouldn't write about her exes? No, I'm not going to say that, because I think if you want to write about whatever and sing about whatever, go ahead and have your fill with that. I'm not going to tell anybody what to do with that. Your art is your art here. But again, my criticism here is that approximately 30% of her music is breakups. And, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, that's terrible. But, a bit overdue much. And, I can think of the phrase drama queen that just fits this. Oh, I've got to sing about the drama in my life, otherwise I'm just not happy. But, in review here, let's review this for a second. From what we can assume of Miss Swift's high school days, she definitely had haters in high school, which is normal. Angsty teen drama is angsty teen drama. But we go to what happened at the it's not MTV, but the Music Awards, where Kanye came up, and she was so offended by it. Then when Scooter Braun bought Big Machine Records through Ithaca Holdings, she basically sicked her fans on him. And it caused him a lot of problems. It caused his now ex-wife to fear for herself and their children. And I don't care who you are. If you dare threaten children, you've earned a special place in the inferno, if you ask me. But in review here, when the person is bigger than her and more popular than her, she's the poor victim that needs to be protected. And if the person, she doesn't like them enough and they aren't, and they don't have the clout she has, she's the mean girl and she sicks her sycophants on them. This is the attitude of a bully who knows how to pull the system. In other words, an extremely manipulative human being who knows how to play on the emotions, play on this and play on that. It's disturbing to say the least. But, this is just my opinion. If you have your own opinions, go ahead and drop it down in the comments below. But sadly, the tea is run out and I must go. Like, subscribe, bang that bell, and I will see everybody in the next video.